Hello everyone. I hope you had an opportunity to consider this question and you went through this question. Okay. So let's address this question. As per my understanding here, there is a town. Let me visualize this one to you. Okay. We had an we have a town called my town. Okay. Here some peoples are living with a judge, but we have to find out who is judge. Okay, so in this question they have given some conditions. Okay, these three conditions, ideally these two only. Third one is just FII. Okay, so everybody, if you see, everybody is trusting this person, judge, but judge is not trusting anyone. So if I say person as a node and the relation like they are trusting to judge as a age, I can see a graph here. Okay, so it's a graph based question. Okay, here these two conditions we have to check. If I try to solve it, I think as per my understanding, I can keep the relation in one quickly find out array. I can show you that. So let's suppose I create a normal array with the boolean property, and if I use that, if you look at here in the town, there are n peoples living labeled or range from 1 to n, not 0 to n. Okay, if I use a default array, any array start from 0, so I have to take care of that 1 to n. Okay, there are rumor that one of these peoples are secretly town judge. Okay, no worries. So here some peoples are living 1, 2 and 3, and this one is I can ignore it because array start from 0. So as of now I'm ignoring this person, so I can grade out, let's say this one. I'm just ignoring it. Okay, leave it. Let's say we have 0 to n, and also they have given a trust array, and trust is nothing but a relation between one. Between two nodes or between two person there is a relation. So here 2D array is given. If you look at this, so consider this 2D array as a 1D array, and here in between this 1D array we have just a relation. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. So basically we have to return some basic code, just like if we not found anything then return 1. It's the ending of this like coding. We have to check something. So let's say if in the town only one person is living, so if n is equals to 1, then we have to return 1. Okay, let's say if two peoples are living, so maybe n equals to 2 is there, but I'm here using if trust dot length is equals to 1 and both have a relationship, then I can take the advantage of this relation and I can figure it out. Here we have two things. If I write it down here 0, it means I'm pointing to this entire first 1D array, and if I write down here something called 1, then I'm pointing to the second value. If I write down 0 again, then 1. Okay, so we have to return 2. It means 1 is trusting to 2, but 2 is not trusting anyone else. So this satisfies this condition. Now coming back to our logic, we have to create two arrays. One is not judge list or not judge array. Here ideally we have to create a list, but here I'm using a array just because they have a range from 0 to n or 1 to n. Okay, I'm just ignoring 0 to n, like 0th index, but 1 to n. So I can easily find out or easily can traverse this array. But this condition alone is not satisfied because first condition said uh, town judge trust nobody. So here this is satisfied, but we may found two persons. In this case, we have to follow this condition. Everyone except from the judge trust the judge town, otherwise return 1. So again, I required a new list. Here I'm calling a list, but I'm creating an array just because this range is given. So again, a trust counter we have to create. Whoever has a max counter or whoever reached that n minus 1 condition, because judge never trusts another judge. Okay, here. So I required two arrays or two lists. Okay, so here I'm calling a boolean list. I'm creating a boolean list. Okay, and it should be not judge. I can create a judge list also, but by default everything is false here. So I'm just using the default value. Okay, new boolean. It ideally I should use n, but here I'm avoiding that one like zeroth condition and I'm just using this nth. So it should be n plus 1 in my case. Here like zeroth index is no longer in use. Okay, no worries. Again I'm creating one more array, that is in trust counter. It should be array equals to new int, and this time it should be n plus 1, and again zero index is no longer in use, but I'm using the range. Okay, range given in question 1 to n. 1 to n. Okay, so I simply no longer thinking any complex logic, and simply I'm just using a for each loop. So in trust, from trust, oh, it's a trust given. So here I have to use some other indicator t. But if I look at this trust, I set it's 2D array, but we have to treat it as a 1D array. But here I'm using this 1D array just because inside this 2D array relationships are given. Okay, only 0th index and 1th index. So what I gonna do is I'm just simply write down one condition here. We have two indexes, 0th index and t 1th index. Okay, up 0th index, what it's saying, 1 is trusting 2. With the first condition, town judge trusts nobody, so 1 cannot be a judge. Okay, so 0th index cannot be a judge, so not underscore judge equals to true. It cannot be a judge. And the second one gains some trust from 1. Okay, so trust count is increasing. So trust count for this one is increase plus. Okay, so since this for loop is visiting once this trust array, now we have one list that says who is not a judge. Okay, and who is gain the more trust. So what I'll do is in if condition I can check not underscore judge by some parameter equals to false. It says like it is similar condition. If I write down that judge equals to true, it's the same condition but in negative words. Here end condition and trust count some index is greater than or equals to n, but here the second condition said except from the judge town judge, so it should be ideally -1. Okay, if it is found, then we have to return something. But what is something? What would be the something? So again I required some variable. So what I can do is I can traverse through the for loop for and I. Ideally we start from 0, but in the beginning we know that 0 index is no longer in use, and here also range is given start from 1. So I'm using 1. I is less than or equals to n I plus plus. Okay, if I use this, then I have to just loop this if inside for loop. For better looking, I'll do one thing. I'll move everything inside this block. Okay, here I is the pointer, so I'm using I everywhere. I, okay, puts I, and something is also replaced by I. If it is not satisfied, then return -1. I hope it's worked now. Let me check one more time. Everything looks sorted. If it is failed, then we'll have to look it into why it is failing. Trust count. Okay. I use counter. Okay. Then it should be trust counter everywhere. Now it is working for all the test cases I have written or I have got from this LeetCode platform. Now let me submit this. We beat 99.81% peoples. Sounds good. Thank you for watching.